All righty. Well, Tiffany, thank you. And thank you everyone who's joining virtually. Really appreciate this time. Really today would like to cover some learning outcomes, including a new state mandated retirement plan that is being implemented in the state of Virginia. Secure Act 2.0, which was some of the largest retirement plan legislation that was passed about a year ago, compliance risk and red flags for retirement plans, and then retirement plan benefits to not only help businesses and nonprofits grow, but also to help attract and retain talented employees. And then at the end, we'll have time for Q&A. So who am I? Ashby Price, founder of Ashwood Financial Partners, born and raised in Richmond. So as those of you who have been in Richmond for a while or a native of Richmond, you know that there's that quarter degree of separation. So, you know, we're all here to give back and help one another. I've been in the financial services industry for more than 2 decades. I'm currently the president of the CFA Society Virginia. I'm the former president of the Central Virginia Employee Benefits Council, and I do a lot to really help nonprofits in the Richmond area, really community driven and focus on giving back. Really believe it's very important to give back, to not only help my clients, but help the community in general. So really, some major changes are coming to the state of Virginia. They were actually implemented over the summer, July the 1st of 2023. So it's called RetirePath Virginia. So what is RetirePath Virginia? It's a state mandated retirement plan for employers that currently do not have any type of a retirement plan in place. So in order for employers to qualify for RetirePath Virginia, they have to have 25 or more full-time equivalent employees, and they have to have been in business for 2 years or more to qualify. And if they don't offer any type of retirement plan currently, they're going to be mandated to either set up a retirement plan, such as a 401k plan or a simple IRA plan, or go the RetirePath Virginia route. This has to be set up by February the 15th of 2024. And for those employers who qualify, do not go either the state mandated route through RetirePath Virginia or set up their own retirement plan, there's going to be a $200 fine per eligible employee per year. So it could be pretty costly. So really, why is this new state mandate happening? Because almost half of the workforce in the state of Virginia do not have access to any type of retirement savings program that's offered by their employer. There's such a retirement income shortfall where individuals are not saving enough for retirement, and especially with inflation, the way it's been over the past few years, really, people aren't saving enough for retirement, and Social Security is just not going to cover all of their expenses in retirement. So the government sees that the Social Security system is becoming stressed. They're seeing that, you know, federally they have to do something to make sure that employees have access to some type of retirement savings program. So really, if you own a business or if you're a nonprofit entity and you have 25 or more full-time equivalent employees and you've been in business or operation for 2 years or more, you're likely going to be eligible to participate in RetirePath Virginia. So just be aware of that. So again, this is the criteria. So you have to have 25 or more eligible employees in operations for 2 or more years and do not offer any type of qualified employer-sponsored retirement plan. And more specifically, going to the eligible employees, those are employees who are residents of the state of Virginia. So if you happen to have 15 employees in the state of Virginia and 10 in the state of North Carolina, you would not fall under the 25 or more eligible employee criteria. So just be aware of that. So with RetirePath Virginia, It's going to be managed by Virginia 529 with a program advisory committee. And then Vestwell and BNY Mellon will be the administrator for the program. Really, there's not going to be any fiduciary liability or responsibility on the employer's side, but there will be some administrative responsibility. So all employees who are eligible for this plan, they will automatically be defaulted at 5% into a Roth IRA, and they can opt out at any time or change their deferral percentage. But again, this is going to go into effect in early 2024. So if you are doing payroll in-house or outsourcing payroll, you just need to be aware that the employees are going to be automatically enrolled at 5%. So let's say you're a business owner or a nonprofit and you do not want to go the RetirePath route. What other options are available? There are various types of retirement plans. One is called a simplified employee pension IRA or a SEP IRA. And really, SEPs are eligible for, self-employed people, partnerships, corporations, and some nonprofit groups. But in most cases, if you have more than 5 to 10 employees, other retirement plan options make more sense. With the SEP IRA, there are no employee contributions allowed. It's only employer contributions, and all employer contributions are immediately 100% vested. And 100% vested, that means that as soon as you make that, the business or the nonprofit makes that contribution to the employee's account, it's it's the employee's money. So it's 100% vested. And the contribution limits for 2023 are up to a lesser of 25% of an employee's eligible compensation or $66,000 for the year. Another type of retirement plan is a simple IRA. So what is a simple IRA and who can establish it? So a simple IRA is available to employers that have 100 or fewer employees. Tax-exempt institutions can set them up, government entities, other nonprofits, corporations, partnerships, and self-employed individuals. Really, what are some key features and what set simple IRA apart from 401k plans and some other retirement plans? They're pretty inexpensive to set up, and there's less fiduciary and administrative responsibility. And with the simple IRA, employees contribute, and there is an optional employer matching contribution, dollar for dollar, up to 3% of the employees' contributions. And there's a separate option, which is a 2% non-elective contribution as well. And in 2023, employees can contribute up to $15,500 if they're under the age of 50. If they're age 50 or older, they can contribute up to $19,000 in a simple IRA plan. And that does not include any employer matching contribution. So with a 401k, like who can establish a 401k? Really, most for-profit and nonprofit groups can establish 401k plans. Really, some of the key features of a 401k plan, it permits the employees to make salary deferral contributions. They can make Roth contributions where the employees are paying the taxes up front, and the growth of the account grows tax-free with the Roth 401k contribution. And the employees can also make pre-tax contributions where they're not paying the taxes now, but they will have to pay taxes later on when they retire. One of the benefit and potential drawbacks of a 401k as well is loans from 401k accounts are allowed in a 401k, and they're not with a simple IRA or with a SEP IRA. So there is more flexibility with some of the plan design of a 401k as compared to a simple IRA or a SEP. But there's also some additional administrative and fiduciary responsibility and liability for establishing a 401k plan. In addition, with 401ks, the contribution limits are higher in a 401k than they are in a simple IRA. So in 2023, employees could contribute up to $22,500 for the tax year, for the 2023 tax year. If they're under the age of 50, if they're age 50 or older, they could contribute up to $30,000. And that does not include any employer matching contribution. Really, why should you consider establishing a retirement plan if you don't already have one? Because it's a great way to attract and retain and incentivize employees. Based on my experience in working with many for-profit and nonprofit entities, those businesses and other entities that have a retirement plan have a much lower turnover with their employee base. And over time, it really results in better financial outcomes, not only for the employees, but for the organization as well. And really, why is saving for retirement so important? Because people just right now, they're not saving enough for retirement. And going back to my earlier comments, Social Security is only replacing a portion of retirement income for so many individuals. So it's best to start saving for retirement, especially if you have an employer retirement plan and they're offering an employer matching contribution. It's never too late to start saving for retirement. So we highly recommend, based on your unique situation, highly recommend that if there is an employer matching contribution available to you, that you try to maximize how much you could contribute to receive the full employer match. In addition, people are living longer. The longevity of individuals, both men and women, it continues to grow. Where on average now, women are living to about ages 84, 85, and men ages 82. But by 2090, the longevity for females is supposed to increase to about 89 years. In men, about 87 years. So people are living longer. Even if they retire at age 65, they have another 20 years that they're going to need their retirement income. So it's really, really important that people start saving for retirement and they understand their retirement goals as well, because there is longevity risk where you could potentially outlive your money if you're not saving enough for retirement while you are working. And really, saving early makes a significant difference in long-term retirement income. So the earlier that you can save, the better, especially with compounding interest and growth of your investments over time. It's really important to start as much as you can earlier on in life. And even if you're later in life, it's better to start saving later rather than never. And these are some scenarios right here where Noah starts saving at ages 25. He saves for 40 years. He's sitting in cash. It's earning 2%. So $96,000 in total over that 40-year period he's contributed. But by the time he retires, he's got about $148,000 in his retirement account. But going to the top one, Chloe invests over a 40-year period, invests in the market in investments that $96,000 over that 40-year period. And the expected portfolio value over that time is over $420,000. So not only is it important to start saving for retirement, it's also important to take a prudent amount of investment risk. So going to Secure Act 2.0. Secure Act 2.0 was passed almost a year ago, signed into law by President Biden on December 29th of 2022. And it really addresses retirement income shortfalls, and it's one of the largest retirement plan legislations that's been passed in the past 20 years. There are about over 90 provisions that really impact retirement plans in a good way over the next 3 to 5 years. So what are some key provisions that are in effect now? So the required minimum distribution age has increased to age 73 for this year, and it's going to continue to increase. So by the year 2032, it's going to increase to age 75 for individuals who are required to take RMDs. It also reduced the penalty for failure to take required minimum distribution. It cut that in half from 50% to 25%. And it also is allowing for small incentives for contributing to a retirement plan. So now employers can give small prizes and gift cards, like gift cards to Starbucks, to incentivize employees to participate in a retirement plan. There are also some pretty tremendous tax credits to incentivize organizations to establish retirement plans. So it really applies to smaller plans, specifically if they have 50 or fewer employees. Employers can receive up to $5,000 each year for a 3-year period of tax credits. And there are additional tax credits on top of that $5,000 for automatic enrollment and for certain employer matching contributions. And for example, I worked with an employer a couple of weeks ago, and we ran the numbers for some tax credits for 2023 alone, and they're expected to receive $17,000 in tax credits for establishing a retirement plan. So it's a great time to, if you're considering setting up a retirement plan for your organization, now is a great time, especially with the tax credits. And those tax credits, if you go the RetirePath Virginia route, those tax credits are not available for the RetirePath Virginia route. So what are some key provisions going into effect starting in January of 2024? Some of the catch-up contributions that are supposed to be made on a Roth basis, that was actually recently delayed until 2026. The IRS and the Department of Treasury recently announced that they were going to delay that because it was administratively burdensome for a lot of employers. So they're delaying that by 2 years. So that's not going into effect in 2024, but it is expected to go into effect in 2026. And now employers can actually make matching contributions on behalf of employees who are repaying their student loans. Student loans are such a big financial burden for so many individuals, where the government is trying to incentivize employees who are making student loan repayments. Now they have the option, or in 2024, they'll have the option to receive employer matching contributions in the 401k plan if they are repaying their student loans. And they're also, there's going to be an option to create an in-plan emergency savings account where the maximum balance is $2,500. And that could be used, that emergency savings account can be used for short-term emergency needs. And I think this is a tremendous benefit for individuals who have 529 college savings plans. Now, if those individuals do not use their 529 accounts, they can actually roll them up to $35,000 into a Roth IRA for retirement. So that's a great way for individuals who have 529 accounts, if for some reason they don't go to college or they receive any type of grant or scholarship and they're not using their entire 529 college savings account, then they could potentially roll that money into a Roth IRA. So after 2024, really beginning in 2025, all new retirement plans, all new 401k and 403b plans will be required to offer automatic enrollment and automatic escalation, because the government really sees that people are not saving enough for retirement. So they are really trying to mandate, not only with RetirePath Virginia, but in 2025, they're trying to mandate automatic enrollment to really encourage individuals to be automatically enrolled in a retirement plan. They're also increasing the catch-up contribution for individuals who are ages 60 to 63. It's going to be higher than the regular catch-up contribution limit at that time. And then it's going to require some long-term part-time employees to join a 401k plan or 403b plan sooner than current legislation has permitted. Now we're going to move on to compliance and risks. So really with a 401k plan and a 403b plan, those plans are covered under ERISA, and there's some additional fiduciary responsibility and liability for 401k and 403b plans. And they both fall under the guidance and jurisdiction of the IRS and the Department of Labor. And there are some pretty significant penalties if there are non-compliance issues with the 401k plan or 403b plan. Just to give you an idea of how costly it could be if there's some compliance failures in a 401k plan or a 403b. So if an employer does not provide the requested or required documentation and notices to participants, it could be up to like $164 per failure. If they don't provide automatic enrollment notices to the employees, it could be over $2,000 per failure. If they don't file the Form 5500, which is the required form, this needs to be filed with the Department of Labor every year. It could be over $2,500 a day. So it could be significant for employers who have a 401k plan or 403b plan, and they're not providing the required notices to not only the employees and participants, but to the Department of Labor as well. So with that, I'll turn it over to questions.
Well, thank you, Ashby. So what that means is for those of you who are Empower People members, you can actually participate in our Q&A session because we're going to be taking this off Facebook. And you have to register, be able to participate in the Q&A session. So if you're not an Empower People member, it's free to join. I put the link in the comments to this video, so feel free to join. And I look forward to seeing you next week. Next week, we're going to be doing Managing Accountability with Kaisha McCree. So I hope to see you next Thursday at 1 o'clock. So I'm going to say goodbye to all our Facebook friends.